Yeah, 100%. 100%. All right, we got a lot more coming up. I'm really excited about this next conversation. I think you will be too. Spike's daughter's getting married. It had us talking about marriage before the show. Laura and I were just like kind of shooting the breeze. And she was telling me a story about somebody who got away. And she had a meeting with somebody who got away. And I'm always trying to help people find love. You know that about me. I love love. So I want Laura to share that story with the audience. And then I would actually like to find this guy. We're gonna try to find this guy. Yes.
We're going to try to find him?
I want to try to find him because I want you to get married to this guy.
This
he sounds
is
like
amazing.
a great guy. And we'll tell you next. Stick around. We'll be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
Progressive Home Quote Explorer lets you easily compare rates, so shopping for insurance might be the easiest part of owning a home. Definitely easier than this.
Psst, honey. Honey! What? Shh, there's a salesman walking up the driveway.
Oh no, he's got a clipboard.
What do we do?
Get down.
Down?
On the floor, you...
Shoot, did he see us?
Why are you breathing so loud?
Home ownership isn't easy, but with Progressive's Home Quote Explorer, shopping for home insurance is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-917-4635, and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-917-4635. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-917-4635.
Well, this week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to Brandy Cruz. Hey, Brandy, why? Why First Mark Insurance?
Service. I wondered for a second whether I was getting the VIP treatment, and I kind of asked, hey, is this what you do for everyone? And they're like, of course. The whole First Mark Challenge is meant to be personal, right? So it really is tailored and meant to be a personal experience for every single person. I will say I've just done whatever is the quickest and cheapest type of insurance, and I realized while I was doing it, wow, this is what it feels like to get insurance as a real adult. We had 1 million questions, and they walked us through every step of the process, and then they're working for you. So they're not working for insurance companies, they're working for you. To experience that level of service really shows you what the difference is with First Mark.
Brandy did it. My family did it. You got to do it. It's totally free. Take the First Mark Challenge. See how much money they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you will be our next First Mark Challenge victory. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
For many years now, Heritage Homecraft has been making stunning kitchens for the folks of Puget Sound. Hi, Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. When we resurface your existing cabinet boxes, install custom-built cabinet doors, and tailored quartz countertops, it'll transform any old, outdated kitchen into the showpiece of your home as it ought to be. All done in about a week without the mess, hassle, time, and expense of a complete tear-out. Not a national chain, your new kitchen is designed, created, and installed by a team of dedicated craftspeople who live and work here in the Pacific Northwest. Have one of our professional representatives out for a free in-home consultation. We'll bring the showroom to you and leave you with an exact quote for your new kitchen. I promise you'll be amazed by the quality and transformation. Just ask any one of our thousands of satisfied customers. If you call today, there's still time to have your new kitchen installed before summer. Call today, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
See the new phase of premium view lots at Natchez RV Resort, and they start at just $80,000. Don't miss your opportunity to get first pick. Reserve your showing now. 800-422-6009. NatchezRVResort.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. A federal judge blocks President Trump from denying federal funds to Seattle and other sanctuary cities. Seattle City Attorney Ann Davison spoke with KIRO News Radio's John Curley last month after joining that lawsuit challenging the president's orders.
Well, it's lawful to be, we call it a welcoming city. It is lawful to be that. 4 out of 5 federal appellate circuit courts have determined these laws are lawful.
CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson.
Cities, counties, and states are separate sovereigns. They do have the ability to say that we do not want to assist the federal government when it comes to immigration proceedings.
Seattle, King County, and Washington State all have laws that prohibit law enforcement from assisting ICE. A Texas woman admits to burning down a church in Maltby. Natasha Odell pleaded guilty to the arson last August. U.S. Attorney's Office says she was visiting family in Woodinville when she set that Lutheran church on fire. Surveillance video shows Odell pouring gasoline on the church before it goes up in flames. She'll be sentenced this August. A road rage incident in a downtown Seattle parking garage leads to a false police report and a complaint against the Seattle Police Department. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has details.
The incident happened February 4th. 2 black Muslim women say they were looking for a parking space when a man started tailgating and blowing his horn. The man approached the women after they parked and allegedly harassed them again, but later called 911 saying they pulled a gun on him. Seattle police officers arrived with guns drawn. They handcuffed them and tackled one of the women to the ground, causing injury. The women and the Council on American Islamic Relations filed a complaint against SPD with the Office of Professional Accountability. They're seeking an investigation and the arrest of the man for filing a false report. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle Mariners stay hot, closing out their East Coast road trip with another series win. They just beat the Boston Red Sox. Final score 4-3. They head back home now tomorrow, starting a 3-game series against the Marlins. Closing bell report. Stocks popped again today thanks to strong gains in some big tech stocks. The Dow back up above 40,000 points. It gained 486. S&P ahead by 108, and the NASDAQ ahead by 457. Now to the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. This report is brought to you by Kia of Everett. We have just cleared a crash on I-5 northbound, just south of 196th Street. It was blocking the right lane. Still some minor backups in that area. Road work on SR-18 approaching I-90 has you backed up to the Tiger Mountain summits. And I-5 northbound off-ramp to 532, a collision partially blocking the ramp there. Got some slowdowns through JBLM on I-5 southbound, Tacoma to Olympia, taking you about 45 minutes now. Linwood to Seattle, the usual backups approaching downtown. And Bellevue to Renton, about a 30-minute drive. Kia of Everett makes the process of buying your new Kia as exciting as driving it home. Best drive you'll ever take is to Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun. Weather now, brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunshine today, highs topping out in the low 70s. Right now, 64 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. I was just told that our YouTube stream just went down for a second, but we got it back up and running, so you guys can watch us live on YouTube. You can also comment. You can chat with each other. A lot of lifetime friendships are happening right in front of our faces. It's just heartwarming. I love to see it. Speaking of relationships right in front of our faces, before we got on the air today, Laura and I were talking about Spike's daughter's wedding that's happening this weekend. We were excited for him. We were just wishing him the best, and that's just the kind of people we are. And she was telling me that, how do we get on this topic? We were talking also about your grandparents. How your grandparents have been married forever, right? They've been 60-something years.
They're like the most perfect grandparent, like storybook version of, like my grandma is a children's librarian. They've been married for 60 years.
Fantastic.
We were talking about the age that you get married and start having kids.
That's right.
And they got married in their early 20s, and they've been together.
That's like my parents.
Since.
My parents got married at 19 and 20. They've been married now for 50-something years. They have all these grandkids and kids, and it's worked out great. But you were saying something that you said caught me, and you said really made an impression. You said, I want to get married just so that my grandparents can be there for the wedding. Yeah. And obviously you want to find Mr. Right. But
I'm not going to rush anything.
You don't want to rush it. But you're not rushing it because you want your grandparents to be there.
I would love for them to be there.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then I asked, I was like, well, is there anybody that maybe you haven't like fully given because the easiest way would be if you already knew somebody, there was a possibility. And you said, well, I actually did meet somebody once that kind of was a fish that got away.
Well, the joke I made was that I just need to get back on an airplane because I keep meeting people on airplanes and having these missed connections. But then I told you the story, and you were like, we got to find this guy.
So tell me, you were on your way to where when this happened?
I'd been on vacation in Greece with my family, and I had a different flight out than my mom or sister. It was super early. I had to take a taxi on a small island to a tiny airport and called the number that the Airbnb person provided us. Wasn't really a taxi, was just a person on the island driving their car around. And the driver goes, would you mind if we pick up someone else on the way to the airport? Fine, sure.
This is a movie already. This is great.
This guy gets into the car. Not taken, though.
Yeah.
And I immediately clock, he's kind of cute. Like, we're about the same age. It's so early, guys. It's like 4 or 5 in the morning. It's dark outside. We end up outside in the line of this tiny airport standing next to each other and just start making small talk. Turns out we're both from the same tiny neighborhood in Seattle.
And you're in Greece when this is happening?
On a tiny island called Paros. Like,
unbelievable.
What are the odds that we grew up blocks away from each other? He's 4 years older, so we missed each other in high school, missed each other in middle school, but we grew up.
You went to the same schools?
Almost.
But not at the same time.
We went to rival elementary schools, but we did go to the same middle school.
Same school district, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Unbelievable. And you meet in Greece?
Yeah, we're staying outside this tiny airport.
Why aren't you married to this guy? This is a movie. We have Greek music.
So we get on the plane, and then we land in Athens, and we've talked about this at this point, pretty significant downtime between our next flights out to back home. And like 6 hours to kill.
Can I just pause you real fast?
Yeah.
If you guys aren't watching on the YouTube live page right now, you should be, because you're starting to blush.
Am
right
I?
now.
I blush really easily.
No, it's really sweet.
I get red really fast.
It's really sweet, but your face is blushing and you look very sweet. And if this guy's listening, because I'm hoping that he's going to have a chance to hear this, there's still a possibility. If he's not connected and you're not connected, you guys could end up married. So finish this, keep telling the story. And if you guys, if the person you're describing, anybody in the audience knows, get him this message, because I want you guys to get married for your sweet grandma and grandpa.
What year was this, by the way?
This was like 2 years ago.
Okay.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
But he lives here. He's from here. His family's from here.
Yeah.
Okay, continue your story. So you guys are in Greece. You're in Athens.
So we're in Greece. We take the train into Athens together. We're talking the whole time. We have breakfast under the Parthenon, like early morning. I know. It's like the cutest first date you could ever imagine.
This is an Nora Ephron movie.
And we have that that sense of when you're out of time and you just immediately get really deep with someone. We're talking about, do you want kids? What do you do for work? What does your future hold?
You're on a bachelor date.
Yeah,
that's what
totally.
this was. You're on a bachelor date.
You could have put a camera right there. Yeah.
Really super compressed. Sorry, go ahead.
So then we get back to the airport. We both check into International Terminal, and we walk to our gates, and then we sort of like goodbye. We exchanged phone numbers. He walks to his gate. I'm standing at mine. I'm about to board. And all of a sudden, he rushes back.
Oh, no.
And he says, can I kiss you?
Shut up. This happened in real life? This is a real story?
Real life, this happened to me. I'm not elaborating, exaggerating at all.
This guy is pretty smooth. Okay, so you guys have now spent how many hours together?
Probably like 8 hours.
8 hours together. You've had a meal. You're in Athens.
We've
You're
had
in
a
one of the
cute
most
date.
beautiful places in the world. He's rushing back to you at the gate, which is like a really, just a perfect
I'm standing
moving
in line
moment.
holding my ticket, kind
You're
of a
about to
thing.
board.
Yeah.
And you turn around and you see this face looking at you again, and he leans in. What does he want to do?
I said, I'd rather not.
He wanted to kiss you, and you said,
I said no.
Why?
I said no. Because, okay, in a rom-com, this is the cutest moment ever.
Yeah.
In reality, I've been up since 4 a.m. I'm basically wearing pajamas and have been this entire time. I'm a little overwhelmed. At this point, I'm like shuffling my stuff to get on the plane, and there's a million people around.
And you're exhausted.
And I'm tired, and I'm shy. Like, I'm shy. I'm not a PDA person,
No, you're
even
shy.
when we're in a committed relationship, let alone, a terminal full of people in an airport.
And you probably had a lot of garlic at lunch too.
Yeah,
whatever they
it's
eat in
Greece.
Greece. Yeah.
one in Rome, one in Greece, one in
Greece.
Athens.
So
I
you
just
didn't-
kind of
you didn't
panicked and
kiss
said no. And then I got on the plane and I had his number, so I texted him and said, "I'm so sorry. I totally froze. I really like you, and I'd love to try to meet up." And then I ended up getting a boyfriend.
Oh my gosh, Laura.
Who I've since broken up with, but
So did he reach out to you?
Wait. We're going to find that out after the break.
Okay.
I'm
so
leave with a little
interested.
cliffhanger.
I want to find this guy. I want you to give me some details. Tell me honestly, do you even know his name?
No.
You don't even know his name.
Can I tell you this? His number's still in my phone because I don't delete contacts.
But you
no
don't know
idea
what
how to
to-
find
what
him
he's
in
called.
my phone.
Google the number, see what comes up.
All right, she doesn't know which number it is. You don't know what you
Oh, you
labeled
don't
him
know?
as.
No idea.
Oh,
Yep.
goodness.
Okay, we're going to find this guy for you because he's from Seattle. His family's in Seattle. If they're listening right now, I mean, that's a pretty small number of people who were in Greece 2 years ago and shared a beautiful experience and had lunch at Athens. I guarantee you he told his family about it. So if his parents are listening to the show right now, call your son because Laura's great and she wants to get married before Grandma and Grandpa are no longer with
And I'm
us.
single now.
She's single now, even better, which is great if you're looking to get married. All right, I want you to tell us about him. Give us some physical descriptions when we come back, and then we can help find this guy through the magic of radio. We can do that for you. All right, we'll be right back.
Hey there, I'm Chris Sullivan, traffic reporter for KIRO Newsradio. The favorite part about my job is helping you get answers to your traffic questions.
Will this construction ever end?
How do you zipper merge?
Just how close is tailgating?
Now I need your help. What burning questions do you have? What should I be looking into? You can help drive the conversation by going to mynorthwest.com or text choke points to 888-973-5476. Who knows? Maybe you'll be the star of my next choke points story. Presented by Carter Subaru.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
Uma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Uma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Uma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Nice. Find your business comm at uma.com/radio.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love
everything.
You guys, I love this song. I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Ugh! I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
Announcing the Million Hour Volunteer Rally. G here, join me, Safeway and Albertsons, and donate your time and skills to support local food banks and host food drives or fundraisers. You can win free groceries for a year and a $5,000 donation to your favorite hunger relief agency. Visit albertsons.com/volunteer to learn more. Find volunteer opportunities and log your hours. 1 million hours will help create food secure communities. Visit albertsons.com/volunteer.
Hi, this is Keith Dashafee, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Are you ready to enhance your home with stunning, energy-efficient windows and doors? At Pella, we offer top-quality products with innovative designs and exceptional craftsmanship. And right now, we're offering an amazing deal. Enjoy 12 months with no interest and no payments, or get 40% off qualifying installs. My team is dedicated to helping you every step of the way. Visit PellaPNW.com to schedule your free appointment today. That's PellaPNW.com.
The preseason AC sale is on now at Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. This month only, keep your home cool and your wallet comfortable with 15% off. Plus, free financing on all air conditioners, heat pumps, and ductless systems. Trust the team voted best in the Pacific Northwest and call Bob's today for your free estimate. Hurry, the discount reduces to 10% off in May. Call Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our clients' portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
There are 5 things money can do for you: growth, liquidity, cash flow, protection, and tax advantages. Don't miss an opportunity because your current retirement plan only focuses on 2 or 3 of them. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Safety comes first. When money is tight, Buc-ee's has you covered with available financing. For oil changes, wiper blades, brakes, tire rotation, tune-ups, and factory maintenance, it's Buc-ee's Complete Auto. No appointment necessary and financing's available. Check Buc-ee's.com for the location near you.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on mynorthwest.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
Welcome back to the show. I'm really excited about this. Laura, I think we're going to find this guy. If you guys are just joining us, Laura was just telling us about a misconnection that she had. She met Mr. McDreamy on a plane. You don't remember his name. You had a magical day with him in Greece. As it turns out, you guys lived in the same school district. You grew up going to the same schools. You just never knew each other because he's a couple years older. He then, as you guys are departing in Athens, taking separate flights, he runs over to you at your gate after having already said goodbye. He runs over to you at your gate, tries to kiss you, and you say no, which a lot of people on the text line were saying like, oh, Laura fumbled that one. I disagree. I think you did the right thing.
Well, and it's a twist to the story, right?
It's a twist.
In the rom-com version, I would have kissed him.
Yes.
But in the moment, in reality, I wasn't, I just kind of felt, I don't know what to say, like overwhelmed. Like there were a lot of people around. It just didn't feel right.
I think it's perfect that you didn't. I think it's the right thing because you know what he's thinking now? Now he really wants that kiss. You're making him work for it, which is smart. Don't give away what do they say? Like, don't give it all away.
Because what if your first kiss was actually here in studio during the show?
We wouldn't ask you. No, we wouldn't ask you to do that. That's weird. That's a voyeuristic
That's
thing.
a joke.
Unless you were into that, in which case we could facilitate that. But what we're trying to do is we are trying to find this guy because his family still lives here, and he was coming here to work. Didn't you say? Don't tell us where you think he works, but like, we do know that you know what he looks like. You don't know what his name is, though.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you give like a vague description for anybody listening so that they can help us find this guy? How tall is he? Is he a tall guy?
Yeah, 6 feet.
6 feet tall.
Yeah.
What color hair?
Brown hair.
Brown hair, curly, straight.
Wavy.
Wavy. All
yeah.
right.
Although haircuts change. Who knows?
Yeah,
It's
you
been
might have
2 years. This was 2023.
Glasses? No glasses?
No glasses. And wearing a baseball hat.
So if you know anyone who has a baseball hat,
Yeah.
give us a call.
Easy.
So are you? Did he text you later?
Yeah, you texted him afterward and said sorry that I was sorry that we had the departure that we had.
Yeah. Well, and like not to get too into details, but at the time we met, he was living in LA. He was planning to move to Seattle in the next like 6 months.
These are all zeroing down who this guy is. This guy's obviously out there.
So it was like reach out when you move up to Seattle. But then by the time he presumably moved up to Seattle, I already had a boyfriend.
Which didn't work out. And that didn't work out.
It was a great year, but didn't work out.
But it wasn't Mr. Right.
Yeah.
Because maybe you had already met Mr. Right. Maybe this is your husband. And you don't know how much longer you have your grandparents around for. I mean, God bless them. They're in good health.
But chop. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're in great health. But
they're in great health. But let's say you get this. Let's say we find this guy for you. You're going to have to obviously get to know each other. And then you're going to have to date for a while. And then he's going to have to
date for a year, move in.
You're going to live with them ahead of time.
Yeah.
I don't recommend that.
Really?
It'll slow the process
down.
No, I did not do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it'll slow the process down. Don't do it. Live separately.
Okay.
Save the excitement for when you guys get married. That's my recommendation. I'm not saying you have to do that.
See, I would think I would want to live with someone before marrying them to learn all of their
unnecessary
red flags.
No, unnecessary.
The data actually shows that has more opportunity for divorce. People who live together prior to marriage, that's a scientific fact.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because once you're fully committed and you're married, you don't see those red flags the same way anymore. And you actually will find those little things you'll find ways to love those things where ahead of time you're being extra cautious and you'll go like, you know what? I don't like that he collects baseball cards. We're not going to get married.
Can I live with that for the rest of my life?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But once you're married, you'll be like, it's really sweet that he's a dork and he collects baseball cards. All right. So we know that this guy has brown hair. We know he's about 6 feet tall. We know that he has a baseball hat. That's not a ton of information to go on, but he did live in Los Angeles at least 2 years ago. He's now coming to Seattle. He grew up here, so his family's from here.
Which part of town?
He went to Bryant Elementary.
Went to Bryant Elementary.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went to View Ridge.
Do you know his age?
So Northeast Seattle. He was 4 years older than me.
He was 4 years older than you.
Do I reveal my age?
No.
He's in his mid-30s.
He's in his mid-30s.
Yeah.
Okay, because you're still in your 20s. He's in his mid-30s. I hope he's not married already. I hope that he hasn't found love and happiness because I think
I hope he has. I root for anyone to find love and happiness. But
no.
I mean, how can you compete with a meet cute like this? I couldn't believe it was happening to me as it was happening. It was like so out of a romance novel.
Did you think to yourself as it was happening and you're sitting there underneath the Parthenon where you guys were having lunch together, this is my husband? Did you have those thoughts?
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Yeah. Because I'm a girl and a total romantic.
Of course.
And I just, you just think like, what if this is it? This is the best story ever.
I guarantee
Finally,
you,
I meet someone not on a dating app.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. I guarantee you, he was having those same thoughts about you. I mean, you're a cute girl. You're very nice. You're fun. I guarantee you, he was also thinking like, I'm under the Parthenon right now. This girl went to my same school. I mean, like, what are the odds that you meet somebody in Greece? That's crazy. So, okay, you can hit us up on the text line if you guys know who this guy might be. You can also send some information through the YouTube page. There's probably a way to go and watch the webcam too. You can see Laura on the webcam and then you can show it to this fella. You have an hour left before the show's over and send it to this guy and see if he recognizes her as a long lost potential love. And let's get you two together. Will you tell us if he texts you? Because he has your number, correct?
Yeah, he does.
You just don't know who his number is in your phone.
Yeah, no idea. It's a mystery. So
Okay.
if I do get a text, I'll let you know.
Text Laura if you're listening.
Keep people updated.
If you had a date with a girl and you had lunch under the Parthenon 2 years ago, it's Laura. Send her a text and let's get you guys together. I think that would be really nice. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We will be right back.
She's local.
I grew up in Olympia.
She's experienced.
I've been very lucky to be in Seattle for 23 years.
Now, Manda Factor is home on KIRO Newsradio.
This is where I want to be. It's where I've always wanted to be.
Experience matters. Experience for yourself. Seattle's Morning News with Charlie Harger and Manda Factor. Every morning 6 to 9 on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Did you know that over the past 10 years, home values have increased the most during the first quarter of the year? So how much is your home worth right now? Check it out instantly at sellwithwest.com. Sure, there are other apps out there you can use, but most of them are national companies. If you want local expertise, someone who actually knows what's happening with the housing market in your neighborhood, there's no one more local than Wes Jones. If you're even thinking about making a move in 2025, go to sellwithwest.com, sellwithwest.com, and start by using their free home value calculator to see what your home is worth. It might be worth more than you think. You'll get so much more than just a number from Wes Jones. We're talking about recent sales in your neighborhood, the market temperature in your city, side-by-side comparisons of multiple online estimates. You can even calculate how much equity you have, and even a breakdown of how your home's value has changed over time. So here's what you have to do. Go to sellwithwest.com, type in your address, and bam, you'll have instant access to all of this and more. It's fast, easy, it's local. Sellwithwest.com, a better way to sell your home.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
It's clogged again.
Your drain?
Just had it cleared.
You didn't call Apollo Plumbing.
How can you tell?
Because your drain's clogged again.
So frustrating.
We can clear that drain.
That's what the last guy said.
We'll clear it, guaranteed.
He said that too.
Apollo Plumbing will clear your drain, or it's free.
Wait, what?
Apollo Plumbing clears your drain.
Or it's free?
Yep.
What's the catch?
No catch.
Fine print?
Apollo Plumbing clears your main drain for $83.
83 or it's free?
And we'll even give you a camera inspection.
Because?
It's the best way to find what's causing your clog.
But that's extra.
Nope. Included.
No extra charge?
Not 1 cent.
83 or it's free.
All it takes is an accessible outside cleanout.
And an Apollo plumber.
No clog is safe from Apollo Plumbing.
And just like that, my main drain is...
Draining again.
How can you...
Apollo plumbers are that good.
83 or it's free.
You call, we come.
My drain's draining again.
Guaranteed.
83 or it's free.
As it should be.
Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of their National Red Tag Sales Event, now extended through April 27th. Stop by any of their participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event, extended through April 27th. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is
is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. The day after a deadly Russian attack on Ukraine's capital, President Trump insisted a peace deal can be reached. And Russia, he says, is willing to make concessions. Linda Kenyon has more from the White House.
President Trump says Russia and Ukraine need to change course.
We are using a lot of pressure on both.
The president was speaking in the Oval Office the day after Russia launched a massive air attack against Ukraine.
I wasn't happy with it, and we're in the midst of talking peace, and missiles were fired.
Trump criticized Russia's president on Truth Social for that attack, prompting a question about his allegiance.
I have no allegiance to anybody. I have allegiance to saving lives.
Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
On the tariffs front, the president insisted negotiations with Beijing are continuing, even though China has denied it.
Well, they had a meeting this morning, so I can't tell you. It doesn't matter who they is. We may reveal it later, but they had meetings this morning, and we've been meeting with China.
CBS's Nancy Cordes.
There have been a lot of questions about how quickly the White House can cut any of these deals with so many countries, as they claim, lining up to get more favorable terms. So that is an indication of a breakthrough, even as questions swirl about why the president keeps saying that talks with Chinese officials are underway, even as his own advisors, including the Treasury Secretary, insist that is not the case.
A new poll finds a majority of Americans believe they'll face higher prices because of President Trump's tariffs. Corporations are feeling that worry. PepsiCo has cut its earnings forecast because of the uncertainty over consumer spending. Here's Ed O'Keefe.
Part of what's going on here with the markets, while the numbers are up, we keep seeing quarterly earnings reports from big corporations saying that they've got to pull back what they call their yearly estimates because of the uncertainty created by this tariff war. So yet again this morning with Southwest Airlines, among others, saying, got to pull it back. That may have to do with some other company issues, but it is in part and primarily led by leaders of that company, said the economic uncertainty that's being created by this trade war.
A judge today blocked Trump's orders to end DEI in public schools. Another judge blocked his efforts to deny funds to sanctuary cities. The Vatican says 90,000 people have lined up to see Pope Francis lying in state.
We were very lucky. It doesn't take that long for us.
We got to see the Pope, and he looked very tranquil and peaceful.
The Vatican has been keeping open the doors at St. Peter's Basilica. The Pope's funeral is set for Saturday. On Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrials finished 486 points higher. This is CBS News.
A riddle brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What do your home and auto have in common? Progressive protects them both. It was an easy riddle. Learn more at Progressive.com.
Coming up, a rideshare driver in courts facing charges of assaulting a teen. We'll get to that after we go to the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. This report is brought to you by FRS Clipper. We start on southbound I-5 with some construction slowdowns right now through JBLM. No accidents. Again, just volume right there. It's coming to Olympia. Taking me about 50 minutes now. Also some ongoing road work on SR-18 causing some slowdowns near I-90. Seattle to Everett, about a 45-minute drive. Just some slowdowns through Mount Lake Terrace. Just heavy volume there. Rest of the map, right about average. Bellevue to Renton, about a 30-minute drive. Looking at about a 40-minute drive now from Renton to Puyallup. And lake bridges are wide open. Save on a fun Victoria, BC getaway during FRS Clipper Spring Sale. Clipper Fast Ferry plus 2 nights hotel. It's up to 20% off at FRSClipper.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. A Renton rideshare driver is now charged with sexually assaulting a 16-year-old girl in his vehicle. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has those details.
Prosecutors say 43-year-old Martin Njokai picked up a 16-year-old female passenger in SeaTac back on January 20th. According to court documents, from the moment the girl sat in his car, he began the assault. Here's Douglas Wagner with the King County Prosecutor's Office.
He proceeded to ask her, do you kiss and tell? He asked her if she would kiss him. He grabbed her hand, pulled it towards his crotch.
Wagner says Njokai prevented the girl from getting out of his car. He's charged with indecent liberties and unlawful imprisonment. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
It is life in prison for the former JBLM soldier who killed a cab driver in Tukwila last year. 26-year-old Jonathan Kang Lee pleaded guilty at a court-martial to multiple charges, including murder, desertion, and resisting arrest. Prosecutors say Lee killed 25-year-old Nicholas Hokema as he was fleeing JBLM to avoid trial on child sex abuse charges. A federal grand jury indicts a former Tacoma resident for damaging 6 power facilities in western Washington. Assistant U.S. Attorney Todd Greenberg says Zachary Rosenthal and others did this back in 2022.
Rosenthal and his conspirators would then target either local businesses or ATM machines that were within the area that the power was out.
He also faces charges for allegedly damaging 2 power stations in Portland. A bitter budget fight is unfolding in the final days of the legislative session. Republicans say Democrats are trying to push through new taxes without any of their input. House Minority Leader Drew Stokesbury.
This is the worst possible way to do tax policy. The public deserves so much better than what they're getting from legislative Democrats right now.
Democrats have yet to respond to that criticism, but Senator June Robinson tells the Washington State Standard they hope to release their operating budget by Saturday. That would set up a final vote on Sunday, the last day of the regular session. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Clear skies today, more sunshine. For tomorrow, just some partly cloudy skies on Friday, but lots more sunshine expected on Saturday and Sunday with highs today in the low 70s. Right now, 64 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News. It's the all-new Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio.
Welcome back to the show. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. Spending a lot of my commercial breaks chatting with folks on the Jake and Spike Show YouTube page, which is live right now. You guys can watch. You can also participate in the chat feature. Not just talking with us. You can talk to each other, which is happening. Maybe some love will happen there. I don't know. Give us a thumbs up or a like or whatever you do on these things when you're enjoying that. Let me read this post from Thor, which I thought was really great. Thor just posted this, and I want to highlight it. Let's see here. Thor says, hey, Jay, we were just talking before the break about Laura's meet cute, her misconnection with somebody she met in Greece. We're now helping her look for him, and maybe we'll complete their love story, and hopefully they'll get married. If we can find him. We don't know who he is, but we hope to find him. But Thor said, because we had advised Laura, if they do meet, don't move in with him. And if it goes well, I mean, like, these are a lot of dominoes that have to fall before this happens. Let's find him first before we decide if you guys are
Let's
getting married.
find him first.
Yes.
Maybe have a date.
Maybe have a date. Maybe consider kissing him. And then if it all works out, hopefully someday you guys will have a beautiful marriage and babies together. But I suggest you don't move in together until you get married. Thor says, hey, Jake, my wife and I met in 1997, and within about 2 weeks, we moved in together, and we've been together for almost 27 years, which is fantastic. Recently, we just did the whole marriage I-dos, and we've been happy since then. And I think that's, I responded, I said, Thor, I think that's great. Although I will say, I do think that for Thor and his wife, they probably would have gotten married sooner had they not lived together. Don't you agree, Tim?
I do, yeah, absolutely.
They waited 27 years. They were living together for 27 years before they got married. I wonder what changed, where they suddenly decided, let's get married. But I think it's great, and but I do think they are the exception to the rule, that statistically, if you move in before you get married, it more often than not ends in divorce, or a higher likelihood of divorce. All right, a lot of stuff to get to this hour, which we are going to jump into right now. You guys want to talk about taxes and ferry rates going up and all the other things? We have ferries, tolls, tires, and concerts. Which one do you want to hear about first? Let's start with ferry boats. You guys want to hear about that? Washington State ferries are going to get a financial boost starting this October. They would tack on with this new tax, a 50-cent capital vessel surcharge, with more increases in 2027 and 2029. They will also add a 3% surcharge to all ferry credit card transactions, which is how most people pay to get on ferry boats. Also, anything you buy on the ferry would have a 3% surcharge, so that's just extra money out of your pocket. How do you feel about that, Tim?
I don't feel good about any of this. I'm just going to be honest. We're talking about like all these kind of little ticky-tack taxes that are just happening. All these ticky-tack. Where can we find additional places to really create, these are all regressive taxes, right? I mean, who goes on ferry boats? Everybody.
Everyone.
Right? Everyone does. Doesn't matter if you're, a billionaire or, you can barely make it month to month, right? I mean, everyone tries to do that. And I think it's just disappointing that it seems like our legislators are just going after everybody.
They're doing, and the things they're taxing too. Like, here's another one that I thought was, I don't get it and I don't like it, but they're going to raise the price of the Discovery Pass. You guys use the Discovery Pass? I mean, you have to if you want to go in any of these parks.
Yeah, go to Mount Rainier.
Go to Mount Rainier, any of the beautiful places. It's $30 currently. If you buy it online, it's an extra $5. They have like an online purchase fee. So it's $35 if you buy it online, but you can buy it places for $30. That's going to jump up. In 2026, it's going to jump up by 50%, which is, I mean, again, it's not like a $45 spread out over a year. It's not a massive amount of money, but it is this ticky-tack things like you're talking about. It's every single little thing that they're taxing. But a 50% increase on the Discovery Pass, that doesn't feel like a good idea.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
And it's regressive. It's a regressive tax, right? Because it treats everyone the same in that way. And I don't know. I always find it interesting that we're looking at ways to, we pride ourselves here in the Pacific Northwest on being green and environmentally conscious, and we're going we're going after electric vehicles here. We're adding additional taxes on going to the mountains, going outside, on driving electric vehicles. We're doing
less affordable to do all these things that they claim to care about.
It really boggles my mind when it comes to some of the upside down things that how we approach it.
It doesn't stop at the ferries. You also have tolling changes. You have State Route 520s on and off ramps are all going to be tolled, so you're not going to be able to just get on there. I don't know exactly how that's going to work, but that's going to be something you're going to have to deal with as well. A $1 per tire fee on retail sales of all new vehicles. So, I mean, last time I checked, that's going to be four tires every time, unless you're buying a unicycle, I guess. I don't think that exists out there, though, for a commercial drivable vehicle, unicycle. I could be wrong about that, but it's going to be $1 per tire. Again, I was talking about this with Spike the other day, and he was like, all right, am I going to really complain about a $1 tire addition? It's the principle of the thing. It's every single tire that gets purchased. They just are deciding, we're just going to take another $1, which is going to directly go to your cost. Like Les Schwab is not going to just start eating that cost.
Yeah.
They're not going to take $4 less per set of tires. They're just going to pass it along to you, and you're going to pay it. And before long, you're not even going to notice how much, in all these taxes added together, they're just squeezing you and squeezing you.
Well, this happened yesterday. Listen to the narrative or the stories that were written around the new levy that Mayor Harrell presented yesterday around the education levy, $1.3 billion levy. But the narrative was like, oh, this is only going to add $650 per year for the annual, because it's a property tax on the annual median, homeowner
in Seattle.
Yeah. And so the way that it's pitched or framed is like, hey, it's only $650, and we're going to think of all the kids we're going to help and the investment.
It's like $55 a month or whatever the number would be. Yeah.
And then to your point, when you add the dozens and dozens of those up that we voted on or that have just been instituted, the levies and the different taxes and sales tax, property tax.
Property tax is another huge one that's going to be a problem for people.
Oh my gosh.
It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I was telling you, our house where my wife and I live, it's assessed a bit lower than it was in 2023, so 2 years ago. Yet our property tax is tremendously higher what we're paying annually, even though it's assessed lower.
How does that work?
We're paying, a couple $1,000s more this year with it being assessed lower.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Doesn't make any sense.
And potentially, if they eventually are able to do this, now I know this one just got shut down. They were attempting to raise it by 3% annually, and that just got shut down because it's tremendously unpopular. They're trying to do that. They're trying to jump into that tax and saying like, hey, we want to be able to just raise this. And now what they're trying to do is they're going to say, hey, the local governments are able to raise the school levies. So you essentially are going to end up paying that tax through school levies in a way that you weren't going to before. And that's just another way to grab your money.
Yeah.
And they're just trying to get it from you. Here's another one. Stadium and events. Events at arenas with 17,000 plus seats will face a $1 per head transportation fee starting in 2026. Just more money they're grabbing. this is a movie reference. You can tell me if I'm crazy or not. When you start to see all these lists of all the different ways they're trying to like pick your pocket and get your money, who's serving who? Aren't these people supposed to be serving us?
Yeah.
Aren't they supposed to be making life better for us? And then in turn, we elect them to further offices. Instead, it feels like they feel entitled to our money. Like they're just sucking it up from us. Like that's our job, is just to like exist so that we can keep shoveling money at them. And it made me think of this. And so that's why I want to play it.
Do you want to know what it is? The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth? That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage. Born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch.
When you pay your taxes.
It's funny, I was just about to say, I don't want to get too philosophical, and then you played The Matrix, so.
But doesn't that
great.
feel what it is? It's
Yeah.
like we're just feeding this machine, and they're just like, they have a bunch of money problems. They're bad at managing money. There's $16 billion in debt in our state, and their answer is, well, let's just take more money.
Yeah.
Which doesn't seem to be a good idea. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I mean, here's the thing. It's to your point about The Matrix and this philosophical argument around this. It's all of us as humans, we all look to something, right? We all have something, whether we call it a higher power or whatever we call it, right?
What guides our lives.
We have something that everyone looks to, every human being looks to. Antiquated language would call it like an idol. Like we all have something that we put on a pedestal and say, this is kind of my thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this is the thing that I'm living for. This is the thing I'm putting my effort and energy and investment in. And I think is kind of essentially, in a religious term, it's going to save me essentially, right? Because all of us want to be, saved in some way, right? Like we want to make sure that what we're doing matters,
Sure.
right? Everyone does. And so government has become such a significant, almost kind of a new religion of sorts where
for sure.
People treat government as almost a religious entity that we think is going to save us. And we look to it the way that religious people look to like priests or pastors or whoever. We look to our elected officials as pope,
as
priest,
benevolent deities.
No, seriously,
Yeah.
we do.
No, I'm serious. Yeah.
And that's why we invest so much into it and we allow them to do whatever they want to do.
Well, we assume that they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But they don't, because if they did, we wouldn't be $16 billion in debt. Yeah. You know what I was talking about with somebody? I'd be interested in your take on this, because your kids are a little bit older than mine. But I was talking with a friend of mine, just in the car the other day on the way home from the show. We were talking about all these crazy taxes and stuff that they have coming down the way at us. And he was saying, how much longer do you choose to live in a state which doesn't seem to value you as a citizen and just wants to take? Because there are other states where you don't have to pay these types of taxes. And not only that, like I can stomach them for myself, but when I start thinking about what kind of life my kids are going to have, it's really tough to buy a house in Washington State. I feel incredibly fortunate that my wife and I got in when we did before the pandemic went crazy, because now the housing market literally is unachievable for a lot of people. It's just very, very expensive to get in there. The interest rates are really crazy. The home values are just through the roof like they've never been. And so when I think about what life my kids are going to have in this state, my friend had a great term for this, my buddy Paul. He said it's launching your children. When you launch your children into this world, you're choosing where you're going to do that. In Washington State, they're going to have a different life than if they lived in, say, Idaho or Arizona or Oregon or some of these other states where some of these things are more achievable. Every time they fill up with gasoline in this state, they're going to pay $1 more per gallon. Every time they want to look around and buy a house or anything like that, think about some of these friendlier tax states where you can buy a house in your late 20s, maybe your 30s, versus never being able to buy one in Washington. Or maybe you buy one, maybe you cobble the money together and you're able to get it into your 40s. A lot of people want to wait until they feel financially comfortable before they start families. So now you're talking about like starting a family way later. Like You're making all these decisions for your kids just based on where you're choosing to live.
Yeah.
Which is a bizarre way to think.
So
do you ever think
on.
about this?
Absolutely. All the time. My wife and I talk about it. It's interesting because in just one generation from when I was in my 20s buying a condo here in Seattle, kind of my first home, so to speak. And I grew up here, middle class. My parents didn't give me any down payment money on a house. So that was, something that I saved on my own. But now in one generation, it's changed so drastically that, to your point, the only way our kids would, get into a starter home here in Seattle would be that we are launching them or that we give them a absolutely significant down payment. So my wife and I, we're already kind of planning on that in the sense of trying
to figure out how to help them.
Yeah, we've got to figure this out because the only, if we do want them to stay, if we stay here and we want our kids to have at least the opportunity to stay here, that's the only way it's going to happen.
Because their drive to have their own life and to make a family, these are paramount. They're going to do these things. If they can't afford to do it here, which is becoming very unattainable in Washington, they're going to have to go and do it somewhere else. And then you and your wife lose your kids. You don't lose them, but they're going to be far away.
Yeah.
Because they're going to move somewhere where that's affordable.
Right.
My parents did this. My parents grew up in Los Angeles. And in the 1970s and late 70s, early 80s, Los Angeles was going through very much what Washington is experiencing right now. The home values were through the roof. Interest rates were really high. And my parents wanted to go out and forge a life. And they wanted to have all that American dream. It was not achievable in Los Angeles. And it has never really been achievable since. So they moved up here to Washington because this was the great wide open West still. You could still make a life here in the early 80s. Very middle class, same kind of deal. And they carved out a beautiful life and they raised us. We were never rich or anything growing up, but we had a good life. And now you're looking at all these neighborhoods where everybody in these neighborhoods is in their 60s and 70s. You don't see any young families in neighborhoods anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Rarely you do. Mercer Island, when I look at Mercer Island is shutting down schools because they don't have kids to fill them because families cannot afford to live on the island.
Yep.
Washington is changing. Mercer Island is kind of a microcosm of what's happening to Washington as a whole. And I'm worried that someday in 10 years, 15 years, when my kids are trying to launch their own lives, they're going to have to leave me and my wife, and I don't want that to happen.
Yeah. It's kind of it's this interesting conundrum where you've gained, right, as a homeowner, right, or if you've been in the market for the last 10, 20 years.
Some people just got lucky, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out well for those folks, right, unless you're paying too much property taxes.
Sure.
But by the way, I just added this up the other day. I'm like, okay, if we own our house for 20 years and the amount of we pay in property taxes on that thing,
don't add that up.
Don't even add that up.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where you've gained, but if you have a family and you have kids and you want them to stick around, then you've got to be able to help them. You've got to be able to essentially pay it down, pay it forward, whatever kind of term you want to use.
Otherwise, you're risking not being able to see your grandkids.
Yeah.
Which nobody wants. All right. We have a lot more coming up. I love that conversation. That was great. I'd love your thoughts on that as well. 888-973-5476. You can also hit us up on the Jake and Spike YouTube page. We have a really funny story when we come back. There was a golf course that noticed on their camera that there was these two cars that were meeting up in their parking lot, doing things that people shouldn't have been doing. A Denny Blaine Park situation. Is it Denny Blaine? Is that what it's called?
Denny Blaine,
Park?
yeah.
Anyway, they put out a funny thing. I'm going to read it to you next. We'll see if it actually worked to deter these people from what they were doing in the car. Stick around. We'll be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens.
KIRO Newsradio, your home for the John Curley Show.
Do you take the money from the guy that made the money because somehow he doesn't deserve all of that money, and you give it to the government, and then they redistribute it to everybody? How is wealth created from that? It is never created. We are all richer because these people, they came up with some pretty cool ideas that we all benefit from. Most of these guys didn't set out to be billionaires. What they set out to do was solve a problem.
Find podcasts and more at mynorthwest.com.
Ladies, and you guys too, have you noticed visible signs of aging, those deep wrinkles, fine lines, and facial creases stealing your youthful glow? Sagging skin, crow's feet, and loss of facial contour are all natural effects of aging, but you no longer have to let them define your appearance. Introducing the new Skin Lift, the groundbreaking facelift led by Dr. Brian Scott. The advanced new Skin Lift addresses key signs of facial aging for women and men, restoring natural youthful contours. Whether it's replenishing volume lost over time or lifting the skin to smooth out those creases, the new Skin Lift can help you look 10 to 20 years younger with both surgical and non-surgical options. It's Hollywood's best-kept secret and now available to you. Get a free consultation and save $250 off your new skin facelift. Schedule at newskinlift.com or 206-222-1225. Look 10 to 20 years younger and restore your youthful appearance with the new skin facelift. newskinlift.com.
Whoa. More fiber?
What?
Down here, buddy. It's me, your spoon. Constipation with belly pain still coming back?
Yeah.
Talk to your doctor. It could be irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, but Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-917-4635, and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-917-4635. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-917-4635.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up Oscar!
Johns Hopkins University has found that just mild hearing loss doubles your risk of dementia, so hearing loss isn't something to ignore.
But hearing aids are so expensive and ugly.
Not anymore. Meet Audien Hearing. You can get nearly invisible hearing aids without a prescription starting at $98 a pair, and they're ready to use right out of the box. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, and with over 1 million customers, Audien is easy to trust. Visit audienhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Are you trying to buy a new home, or are you a local real estate agent seeking financing for a client? We're all tired of dealing with banks, credit unions, and endless guidelines. Wouldn't it be nice to go back in time when we had common sense lending? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital based in Bellevue. We are one of the largest local private portfolio lenders in Washington. We've helped thousands of home buyers and real estate investors reach their financial goals by leveraging the Legacy Common Sense borrowing platform. What that means is we lend our own money, we make our own decisions. If your deal makes sense, we'll get it done. Whether you're purchasing a new piece of real estate or refinancing an existing loan, bridge loans, construction, or regular home loan, it doesn't have to be as difficult as banks and lenders make it. If you're trying to grow wealth through real estate acquisition, come talk to the experts in private lending.
Call 425-635-4700 or LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, your common sense lender. LegacyG.com.
Through April, Lake Washington Windows and Doors is paying your sales tax plus giving you 18 months, same as cash financing. For details, visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Legal help is coming to nearly 24 international students at the University of Washington. They suddenly had their visas revoked. KIRO News Radio's Heather Bosch explains.
A community-led student legal defense fund is raising money to pay for lawyers for 23 University of Washington students and recent grads. The federal government revoked their visas, and it's unclear why, although UW Law School professor Angelica Chastero says it appears anyone who's had a brush with the law is at risk.
Having any sort of contact with the criminal legal system, so anything from being stopped for a traffic offense on up.
She says in the past, visas were not typically automatically revoked over that. Heather Bosch, KIRO News Radio.
A federal judge sides with Seattle and other sanctuary cities, ruling the Trump administration cannot deny them federal funding. Seattle joined that lawsuit in February, challenging executive orders that threaten to pull federal dollars from sanctuary jurisdictions. City Attorney Ann Davison told KIRO News Radio's John Curley last month.
What I do have a problem with is being coerced, the threat to withhold federal funds, and an issue about local problems and local control of how we tell our police to do their work.
Davison says the courts have repeatedly ruled the city's sanctuary policies are lawful. President Trump now weighing in on China's decision to stop taking delivery of Boeing jets in light of the U.S.-China trade war. Here's CBS's Michael Wallace.
Trump posted on social media that Boeing should default China for not taking the finished planes it committed to buy. He says it's just a small example of what China has done to the U.S. for years.
Boeing says it's looking for other buyers for the 50 planes China has already ordered. It is draft day in the NFL.
The Seattle Seahawks select.
Well, we will find out tonight, or maybe not. The NFL Network's Daniel Jeremiah tells 710 Seattle Sports he likes the idea of Seattle trading their first-round pick.
The sweet spot of this draft is day 2. It's not much difference in the guy you're going to get at 18 versus the guy you're going to get at 50.
For now, the Hawks have 5 picks in the top 100. Now to the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. This report brought to you by the FRS Clipper. Still have that ongoing road work on SR 18, causing some slowdowns. Approaching I-90 really starts to jam up at around the Tiger Mountain Summit, that is. Construction slowdowns through JBLM on southbound I-5. Right now, it's Tacoma to Olympia, about a 50-minute drive. Starting to see some traffic build also on 405 southbound out of Bellevue, slow going down to Renton, and then Renton to Puyallup, looking at about a 50-minute drive. Really starts to jam up between Auburn and Sumner. Heading up north into Everett, Seattle to Everett, about a 40-minute drive. Same for Bellevue to Everett with some slowdowns through Totem Lake. Save on fun, Victoria, BC getaway during FRS Clipper Spring Sale. Clipper Fast Ferry plus 2 nights hotel, up to 20% off at FRSClipper.com. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Beautiful day today, sunny skies, same for tomorrow. Highs each day in the low 70s. We're up to 68 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. The story's kind of a weird one, but it's funny, so we're going to tell you about it. There's a golf course called Skylinks Golf. And it's just like a place you can go. I think it's a little like par 3 golf course, kind of a nice little spot you can go to. I think they already also have a driving range. It's not local here. It's in another state. But they noticed on one of the cameras that there were people meeting up in the parking lot, and they were not coming into golf. So they put out this post on Instagram, which has kind of gone viral now, and they're trying to listen. I'm just going to read this to you. To the late 30s married wife in the black car who's having a secret affair with the guy in the smaller silver car, who've decided to use the back right corner of our Skylinks car park to meet weekly on the same day at, and then they give a time, they say XX 30 AM, next to the workshop and recycling dumpster where you think nobody is watching. Please stop. If it happens again, we're going to drop the footage and watch as all hell breaks loose. We are a family golf course, not some Jerry Springer family destruction zone. Dr. Phil would suggest that you go home and have an honest chat with the person who really needs to hear it, which I thought was kind of funny, and it also fit into a theme we have today.
We determined that a bunch of old homeless dudes had an orgy in the car. Oh, God. Yeah. You know what that's called when they do that in there? It's called a soup kitchen. It's pretty rough stuff.
Pretty rough stuff. Tim, have you ever happened upon people doing this type of a thing? I mean, you have had people sleep in your car uninvited. Have you ever noticed anybody doing anything like this in a parking lot?
No.
I have.
Okay.
Actually, one time I worked for I won't say who. I won't say where. Actually, no, I will. I used to work at this place called Tully's, and
the coffee shop.
Coffee shop. Yeah. It was one of my first jobs. Classic place.
Yeah.
So this is more than 20 years ago now. How long would this have been? This has been 23 years ago. So if you're listening to this story and you are the people in this story, shame on you.
Yeah.
So in the back of the Tully's, we had the dumpster and we had all this stuff, and we noticed that like on Wednesdays, for whatever reason, there would be this car back there, very dark tinted windows, just parked back there for about 20 minutes, and then it would leave, just on Wednesdays. And so we started doing the math in this, and we were like, wait a minute, somebody's like popping in and doing something in that car. And it was pretty evident from the outside that something was happening in the car. So then we realized that these people were first coming in and meeting at the coffee shop. So then it was like it was like appointment viewing. Every Wednesday we'd watch.
Who is it?
Yes, exactly. We'd try to like decipher because we couldn't see in the car and we weren't going to go and knock on the door and like ask who you are. Because we're just, I was like 17 at the time or whatever. So we watched as these people, and finally we did figure out who it was.
Don't tell me it was Dirty Mike and the Boys.
It was not Dirty Mike and the Boys. No, that would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
But I do think it was a couple who were having an affair because she had a wedding ring on and he did not. And they were meeting at the coffee shop, and then they would come in and they would like be very flirty inside the coffee shop, and then they would disappear. But I noticed it was her car.
Wow.
That was parked in the back. And what do you do in a situation like that? These are two consenting adults.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe somebody's life is being ruined. I don't know.
What'd you do?
Nothing. We just like kind of laughed about it every time they came in.
Yeah.
We're like, I guess we know what they're going to go do. Like just drinking like giant coffees beforehand doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
But whatever. Different things for different people. I don't know. I don't even know what you would. Would you do something different in that situation?
No, I don't think so. I mean, unless you knew them. But I mean,
we didn't know them.
It's obviously their business. I mean,
that's kind of what I felt like. It wasn't any of my to do. I wasn't going to go and stop them.
Yeah.
But if they want to do that, they can do it.
So what happened with this? Did anything come of the story at all? That the golf course?
They did not do a follow. They did not do a follow-up post. So I assume this ended the meetups. They probably, because this went pretty viral and people found out about it, and so I'm pretty sure that they just stopped meeting up for sexual meetups in that parking lot. All right, one more thing we got to cover really fast. Have you heard of the Ice Bucket Challenge? Do you know what that is?
Oh, yeah.
The Ice Bucket
Oh,
Challenge?
sure.
Tell the audience what that is.
Well, I mean, I'm not an expert on the Ice Bucket Challenge, but I've heard of it.
Laura, do you know what the Ice Bucket Challenge is?
Yeah, it was a idea to raise awareness and funding for ALS, which is a neurodegenerative disease that is very fatal, and it went absolutely viral.
People were
when was
were
this?
they pouring ice on themselves?
Yeah, like a decade ago. Yeah, so you get a big bucket with ice water in it. You dump it on yourself. Millions of celebrities did it. This was like early days of viral videos too, right? Of people posting things and
it's a way of raising money.
Yeah.
For ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease.
And I think the reason it caught on is that you would challenge. It was the Ice Bucket Challenge. So as you did it, you could nominate other people in your life to do it. It's kind of like those chain emails, but obviously better.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, because it serves an actual purpose. So they were raising money for ALS. So there is another group. Is that what's happening here? There's another group who have kind of co-opted the Ice Bucket Challenge.
USC. Isn't there? There's some kind of, because my 9-year-old daughter, 11-year-old daughter just did it the other day, and she said,
She did the Ice Bucket Challenge?
She did the, I mean, the one that's going around right now.
What is it for? What is she trying to raise money for?
I don't know if it's a fundraiser. I think it's a awareness kind of thing. And she said it's USC. which stands for something. I don't know what that stands for. She goes, and so you nominate somebody. She goes, thanks for nominating me. Someone from her dance studio nominated her, and then you nominate 3 other people. But it's not an ice bucket challenge. Apparently, this one is just any temperature you want. That's what I'm told.
Lazy. That seems lazy. There's no risk involved then.
But my daughter, I said, are you going to do some just warm water? She goes, no, I want it cold. So she did. She went for it.
She paid a price.
But I'm a little unclear though about.
I think what is it, Laura? It's mental health, right?
It's mental health. So it was a 21-year-old student at the University of South Carolina. He was inspired by the original Ice Bucket Challenge and wanted to come up with like an event for this mental health awareness club that he founded on his USC campus.
Okay.
The campus club is called MIND, stands for Mental Illness Needs Discussion.
And USC, as in you said University of South Carolina?
Yeah.
Okay. So
and
that's what your daughter said, USC.
Yeah, she said USC.
Yeah.
Funny how these things spread. You don't even know what she's doing. You don't even know she probably doesn't even know it's like a University of South Carolina. But somebody with ALS now, because the people with ALS are now saying that that's our challenge. You can't do that. You can't take our ice buckets. Get your own challenge. This is Michael Stone. He's a 25-year-old with ALS, and he put out this video.
The Ice Bucket Challenge was born out of a desperate need to bring awareness to ALS. It wasn't just a viral trend. It was and is still a lifeline for awareness, funding, and hope for those of us facing a disease with no survivors. Let's uplift both causes, but let's not erase one in the process.
So he's basically saying, obviously, it's associated with ALS. Let's keep it associated with ALS so that people don't start giving money to this other thing. So they need to come up with a separate one. They basically need their own challenge, which I could see. You could do that. That's fine. If you guys can think of any. You suggested your daughter did one with, she did cold water, but other people were doing just anything in a bucket. Is that right?
Just any temperature. And maybe, is that why they were trying to distinguish it from the original?
Maybe.
Was the, hey, it doesn't have to be ice water.
Maybe, but it doesn't have the same, if it doesn't have the same sting, I don't think it's going to catch on as fast.
Yeah.
So it's got to be something that people are actually like interested in seeing you suffer through in order to do it.
I mean, this is great for the original ALS, and I agree with what he's saying, and I would do the same thing. Like, hey, let's get our initial, movement back into the media, back in the mainstream.
Sure.
I mean, has anyone talked about that in 10 years? No.
ALS?
No, the Ice Bucket Challenge.
Oh, no.
I mean, that was 10 years ago.
No, now we're talking about it, which
now we're talking
gets us
about
back to ALS. So
That's
it's
right.
kind of working.
That's right.
I feel like it's going to be associated with ALS now forever. So anytime the Ice Bucket comes back up, they're going to get probably an influx of donations.
That's right.
Which is a nice thing.
Yeah, you can get some McLovin.
It's a pretty, it's a very rare disease, ALS. I was looking into this. It's fewer than 20,000 cases per year in the U.S., but it has no known cure. And so, it's good to donate. If you're looking to find some money to donate somewhere, the ALS is a good place to send it.
So what if we do it for you right after the show here, Jake?
Do a what? An ice bucket?
Yeah, well
I'll just donate money. No, I don't need to do an ice bucket.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's cold. That's really cold. I would do a warm hand bath. I'd be willing to do that. Essentially just washing my hands in warm water. I'm willing to do that, and I could make a donation, but I that's as far as I'm willing to go.
You sound like me.
What would you do?
Just what you said.
A warm hand bath?
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like we're very dedicated. All right, good luck out there to University of South Carolina as well. We have a lot more coming up. We got your text messages. I'm still waiting to see if Laura's phone starts buzzing with Mr. Wright from Greece. We hope that he's out there listening and he finds his way back into Laura's heart and her phone. We'll be right back.
Your home is probably your biggest investment in your family's future, and giving your home the very best protection takes integrity. Hi, Spike O'Neill for Integrity Roofing and Construction. Local family-owned Integrity RC has been named Best Roofing and Construction Company year after year, and they're more than just a roofing company. Integrity offers fully integrated services for your entire home. They use only the best eco-friendly, sustainable products that last longer. No nonsense, complete transparency, and never any high-pressure sales. Integrity RC lives up to their name. Call today for a free estimate at 206-202-ROOF or visit integrityrc.com. PellaWindows.com.
Hi, this is Keith Dashafee, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Are you ready to enhance your home with stunning, energy-efficient windows and doors? At Pella, we offer top-quality products with innovative designs and exceptional craftsmanship. And right now, we're offering an amazing deal. Enjoy 12 months with no interest and no payments, or get 40% off qualifying installs. My team is dedicated to helping you every step of the way. Visit PellaPNW.com to schedule your free appointment today. That's PellaPNW.com.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Look, I never thought I'd get into skydiving, but here I am, a hot dog about to fall from heaven at T-Mobile Park. Here I go! And just like that, I'm soaring above a sea of fans and foam fingers. Watch out, Section 115, I'm coming in hot! Yes! Hot dog! Nice, you got me. And now I'm smack dab in the middle of it all. Peanut vendors slinging snacks with precision, kids next to me smiling ear to ear, and the crowd roaring as Julio steps up to the plate. This place really is baseball heaven. Home run, Julio! Mariners baseball. Trident's up. I'm a hot dog.
The Mariners are back in town this weekend. Don't miss out on 2 great giveaways as they take on the Marlins. Score a City Connect captain's hat tomorrow at 6:40 and a Moose Shoulder plush Saturday at 6:40. Plus, grab value game seats for just $10 Tuesday and Wednesday against the Angels. Get your tickets at Mariners.com.
My wife and I have been married for over 15 years, and I've never had any complaints about my performance in the bedroom. But after I turned 40, things started feeling different. I was gaining weight, losing muscle, and I just wasn't interested in sex anymore. My wife told me her friend's husband went through the same thing, and it turns out he had low testosterone. So we booked a free T-check at Revive Health, and that's when I learned that my testosterone levels were low too. We worked with a provider to create a custom treatment plan, and today, my wife and I are having more fun than we did on our honeymoon. My only regret is not reaching out sooner.
If you're ready to book your free T-check, visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com or call 206-529-1111. Again, that's 206-529-1111.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target those problem areas: waistline, neck, face, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. Schedule your free consultation at ProSculpt.com for $250 off. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's ProSculpt.com.
With Amazon Business, smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Right now at Les Schwab Tires, it's the Best for Less sales event. Save up to $120 instantly on a set of 4 tires. Choose from a wide selection of some of our longest-lasting, best-performing tires. Plus, you'll get America's best tire warranty, 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. Just another way you'll get more from less. Stop by a store or shop online at leschwab.com. Limited time offer while supplies last. See leschwab.com/sale for details.
Welcome back to the show. We get to read your text messages now, which is a ton of fun. Thank you to everybody who is participating on the text line and also on the YouTube live page. Do us a favor and hit the thumbs up button. If you want to subscribe to it, even better, or even share the link to somebody that you love dearly. It's like giving somebody a free gift, because this show is just the gift that keeps on giving. So right now, we have text messages, which is a ton of fun. Laura, fire away.
On tipping at Starbucks, Jeff says it's referred to as a shakedown. I don't do Starbucks.
Yeah, definitely. When somebody sticks a thing in my face and says, please tip me without me providing any service for you, and I'm going to shame you if you don't give me more money, it feels like a shakedown. It doesn't feel good. I don't like it. All right, Tim, go for it.
425 says pay cash. Then you don't have to worry about the tip machine.
Yeah, but then you got to stick around, and they're going to hand you change back. Then they're going to look at you, and they've got that little change jar right there, which of course I'm going to drop it into because I'm not going to carry dirty money around for the rest of the day. Yeah, exactly. All right, says Tim and Renton says I use the app to order ahead, and I pick up via the drive-thru. There's no tip option in the app, and I never get asked or hounded at the windows. Great advice, Tim. Good job.
Goodfellas says in the old days, no one ever tipped unless you sat at a table and were served and checked in on your needs while you were inside their establishment. Good for you, Jake.
Thank you, Goodfellas.
I thought the initial thing about tipping was that servers don't make even minimum wage, right? Like they make $2 an hour and then the rest is in tips.
That's all changed in our state.
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore, right? They changed the rules, so now you have to pay them the minimum wage. So now we're just like, I'm just throwing money. I'm just throwing money at them. I don't like it. Tim, go for it.
Yep. 360. I recently had a couple of keys made at a local locksmith. I was prompted to leave a tip. I had no issue tapping the no tip button.
Tipping on a key? Why would you do that?
Because that's how ingrained it is in our culture now, right? I mean, we even have to think about that.
Are we just tipping on everything now? Do we tip on every single service?
Tipping on everything. If you want to...
If that locksmith wants a tip, they need to be coming and refilling your water as well. Like, are they offering you a beverage while they remake a key? Are they checking on your service?
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, and then I tip them. Absolutely. If they toss me an extra key, like if I asked for one key and they gave me two, I'd tip them.
Yeah.
But not anything else. That's insane. All right, let's move on to, we have a ton of these. I'm just going to read through a couple of them really fast. 253 says, my coffee maker doesn't even have a place to tip. I've looked. Aaron from YouTube live stream says, Starbucks pays too much. I mean, it's not like those baristas wear bikinis. Thank you, Aaron. Good point. David in 425 says, Jake, I'm surprised you being an ex-Sonics ball boy still going to Starbucks. Starbucks and Schultz are the reason we had the team stolen from us. David, you're completely right. David says, for me, they don't get my money, let alone a tip. Good for you, David. I agree. All right, let's move on to
Junior's ban on food dyes. 360 says, when my son was preschool age, we noticed that he had things with red 40 in them and then became super hyperactive. Night and day difference after eliminating that one additive from his diet.
There you go.
Cliff in Woodinville, just give us the same products they ship to Canada. How hard is that?
Yeah, or all of Europe. They don't allow any of these things. I think they're going to be fine. Peggy in Olympia says the biggest difference between 1910 and now is that people sit all day. That is true.
Word.
In 1910, you actually had to leave your house to get things. And now, I don't even have to leave for toilet paper. I literally never have to leave the toilet. I can just sit there. They'll deliver it to my house. It's an awkward walk to the front door if I run out. But you don't have to leave the house.
And apparently I was the one to inform your family about Costco delivery.
Oh my gosh.
Week, which has probably changed your lives forever.
You would think actually that I would spend more money, but I'm actually going to spend less because whenever I go into Costco, I always go like, oh, that's a nice looking shirt. How much is it? $10? Yeah, I'll take it. I'm not buying all those little extra things. And now Costco's just delivering it. And what is it? It's $35?
$35 minimum. You spend that just looking at stuff at Costco.
Yeah, I spend that in eggs every time I go to Costco. So I'm definitely getting the delivery for free.
Well, BNP Olive says the healthier the food, the longer we live, and the more taxes we pay. I think he's found the conspiracy theory.
Okay. Yeah.
On the Denny Blaine nude beach, Brian in Olympia says, put up cameras at the nude beach, put the live feed on OnlyFans, and the city gets the revenue.
That is the only. I do think that is the only answer. If they're not gonna fix the problem, they're gonna allow people to go there and have some self-love. Then if they're gonna like build a fence or something, this is a great way to make money.
Yeah,
it's a really dirty way to make money, but if it helps the city and it takes the tax burden off the rest of us, then why not?
You think you're gonna get a lot of revenue off that?
No, I'm not gonna get revenue, but they're not picking my pocket for tires.
No, I know, but do you think that has revenue capability?
For the nude beach?
Yeah.
On an OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Yeah, the internet's a dirty place. Yeah, for sure. 100%. 425 says cameras would work. There was a cameraman in downtown Everett and always streamed live on the homeless, and after a few months, the homeless disappeared. Very interesting.
Oh, and on living together before marriage, Brian and Olympia had the best text. Not living together before getting married is the worst advice ever.
What?
If I'm going to be tied to this person for the rest of my life, I want to know how they stack dishes in the dishwasher, how they squeeze the toothpaste out of the tube, and which way they put the roll on the toilet paper holder. I don't want to be stuck with a heathen.
Is that sarcasm?
No. It's not sarcasm. I can tell he's being serious, and I do think that Brian is an unmarried person. Would be my guess. I'm wishing Brian well, and I hope he finds the love of his life.
Sarcasm.
I don't think it's sarcasm. I think he's being serious, actually, even though it's tough to read sarcasm. But Brian, best of luck. I hope you find love. That's all the time we have for today. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Listen to the John Curley Show. It's coming up next. Tim, we'll see you back here tomorrow.
All
right, Laura, I'm waiting on that text from Mr. Grease. We'll see you guys in a bit. Bye-bye.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to goodrx.com/GLP. That's goodrx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Ooma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm? I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business calm at ooma.com.